Hello guys, I'm very grateful for you guys to have me here. So let me tell you a little bit about these two amazing technology, Wi-Fi 6 and 5G, and how we can leverage on them to deliver superior quality of experience for our consumer. So a few words about Airties. So our mission statement is to basically empower service providers around the world to deliver exceptional digital experiences leveraging on Wi-Fi technology. Our business is developed worldwide. We work with about 50 operators worldwide, have about 33 million households where our technology is being deployed, and the cloud that is using to orchestrate all your consumer devices is leveraged in about 1.2 million devices. So let's look at Wi-Fi 6 and 5G and how they can complement and coexist. So today, if you look at the enterprise side, we basically know that in about 98% of organization, Wi-Fi 6 and 5G is already being tested, and already half of the organization have already taken active steps to use and deploy both technology. The good thing is, on the industry body standards, they're already very actively working on making sure that both standards are going to enable consumer to roam securely and seamlessly between Wi-Fi and 5G, which is great news, and it's giving us a solid foundation to build better product going forward. Let me give you a short example. This is a slide that has been worked on with one of our partners, Intel, and Intel is already building technology that will ensure that connected car connecting to 5G network will then distribute Wi-Fi 6 for in-driving experience, making sure that consumers that are using their everyday connected clients basically connect in the car like they do at home. And that's going to be one of the reasons why these two technologies can coexist and be better used by consumer. But what if the world was deciding to go 5G only? Is that possible, do you think? Well, if you look at some Cisco data, today about 52% of all traffic is already going through fixed and Wi-Fi. So transitioning all that traffic to 5G would mean significant investment with regards to infrastructure for 5G tower, and would basically lead the current infrastructure probably to crash, and it would take a lot of time to build it. Also, to keep in mind that 5G, residential 5G doesn't really well go through walls, which means that it would bring significant limitation from a consumer perspective, leading for a degraded experience. So we need to find a way to make the two coexist. Another point is Wi-Fi is already playing a huge part in 5G development around the world. As an example, we are working with many operators, partners of ours, in order to enable them to reach more consumers by offering proposition leading them to leverage on the 5G network as a new access network technology in order to offer fixed broadband proposition based on 5G that are then terminated for consumer with Wi-Fi. So the two creates this perfect combination and allows operator to effectively increase their revenue by reaching more customer worldwide. And many deployments like this will happen in the coming few months and a few years to come. Also, one key data for operators that you need to understand is the data offload. Already 59% of the mobile traffic basically is offloaded to Wi-Fi in 2022, and that number will tend to continue growing. So it is really important for the maximization of your capex as an operator to ensure that the capability of offloading is there, and it's also good for consumer because they can consume more data for a much cheaper price. So why do we believe Wi-Fi 6 as a head start? Well, again, let's look at the two lenses, the enterprise side and the residential side. So enterprise first. Already about 70% of all organizations are basically actively deploying a Wi-Fi 6 solution for enterprise application, and that number, of course, will keep on growing. And the same organization, 60% of them are basically busy with their 5G. So as you can see with that number, Wi-Fi 6 is in the lead. But the presence of Wi-Fi 6 from a residential perspective is much more ubiquitous. This year, there will be 2.5 billion Wi-Fi 6 devices that are going to be shipped. Another 1.5 billion Wi-Fi 6 silicon will be, shipped to manufacturer, leading Wi-Fi 6 to be clearly the dominant standard and the only thing that will be offered to consumer going forward. It is also very important to realize that within Wi-Fi, so Wi-Fi 6 has effectively already evolved. As you can see on the slide, Wi-Fi 6E, which is the next generation Wi-Fi 6, is already a big part of the deployment. If I look at our business, we see that already over 95% of what we ship to our partners, CSPs around the world, is Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E. So that's the dominating protocol, and next year onwards you will start seeing Wi-Fi 7, which is around the corner, and that will further expand this particular protocol. So how do we then build a solution, connectivity solution, that will basically deliver perfect experience to consumer? So we've been trying at Airties to better understand how we can leverage and help our operators to use the two solutions to make them coexist, to deliver benefit for the operators, but to also deliver benefit for the consumer. And looking at the data, we found something quite interesting. So looking at the million households where we have developed our technology, we know that about 75% of all homes where we are deployed are using less than 50% of the 5 gigahertz bands on the Wi-Fi side, offering basically significant opportunity to leverage on that untapped capacity from a residential perspective. So if you think about a consumer that basically roams, that goes on and about, so you're connected at home, but you go out and you basically want to still carry on consuming connectivity. When you go outside, it's very difficult for you, for an end user, to know which hotspot to choose from. First problem, you're not going to necessarily know which one will deliver you the best quality of experience. Second problem is once you're connected to a particular hotspot, you run the risk that you are going to degrade the quality of experience of that particular household, and therefore causing huge issue for the person that is in this house enjoying Wi-Fi and suddenly seeing degraded experience. So at Airties, we found a solution to address that particular solution by developing a smart hotspot management technology which operators can deploy at scale on all their residential install base and integrate into their mobile offering. And that will create a solution where consumer can just seamlessly connect to different residential hotspots without any form of physical authentication. So it's all happening manually and seamlessly and with proper security in place to make sure that you can enjoy the data. And the same protocol allows operators to effectively do a lot of automated offloading, which is going to help them to better manage their costs, reduce their cost to serve, and optimize effectively their capex. So that particular solution has been jointly developed by us together with one of the industry body called the WBA, and this open roaming standard is now being trialed in many countries, and it's helping effectively the convergence of both 5G and Wi-Fi 6 in the best possible way, helping consumer to enjoy better connectivity and operators to optimize their network, both the fixed and the wireless network, in the most efficient possible way. However, we should not stop there, because this only gives you a connectivity wrapper, which will ensure that as a consumer you can be connected to one or the other network. But that's not enough. We believe that all operators now really need to spend a lot of time and attention looking at the quality of experience to make sure that the consumer needs are better served and will enable them very sticky experience and to deliver the best possible experience to consumer. So let's look at a couple of data that we have gathered for you today. So we've discovered, doing research with some of our partners, a new phenomenon called the digital anxiety. This is something that has emerged effectively during COVID, and it's the stress that people experience when their life is solely dependent on basically a little screen and an internet. You will all relate to the use case where your kids are screaming on you because the Wi-Fi doesn't work, and that you have an interview with your boss on Teams and you see a fixed screen and the audio is shit, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And this, of course, has increased because people now are basically solely dependent on connectivity, looking at the screen, and that's created a lot of anxiety. That's a big number. As you can see, 67% of remote workers declare that phenomenon, and that's something that needs to be addressed. The interesting bit is this digital anxiety is not purely about Wi-Fi. Now people have concern about the overall quality of their connectivity, but also about the safety of being online and the privacy angle with a lot of bad press that has happened in the last few years related to privacy services. So how can we future-proof that and address this particular consumer needs with better proposition? Another research that we've conducted is leading consumer to basically say that they really would like operators to take charge with regards to providing everything that the consumer needs to experience best possible connectivity, but they're also willing, 80% of them almost, to pay a bit more their broadband operators to make sure that the service that they get will deliver that peace of mind, quality of experience. So there is an opportunity for operators, again, to go and offer a bit more premium services than what they have done by the past. And what we see here is effectively the evolution of consumer needs. We started once upon a time operators were just offering speed, but that really was never meeting consumers' expectation. And now we are in this phase where offering Wi-Fi and related cyber security services, et cetera, is now evolving to consumer demanding for you operators, fixed and mobile, to deliver a guaranteed quality of experience on the back of personalized value-added services. And why does it matter? Well, I think you all need to look at what people do when they are consuming the internet. And we've put here the 5 key leading use cases that are effectively driving internet usage in the home and out of the home. Entertainment is absolutely key, of course. I'm talking about the Netflix of the world. The home office use case, as I referred before, using Microsoft Teams and all the application that allows you to connect with your office and your colleagues, which are basically on the time. Education, specifically during COVID, has exploded, and there is a true shift towards more online application, and that phenomenon is there to stay, even though schools have reopened now. Smart home, which is taking up an awful lot, and eventually gaming, and in this case we're talking about online gaming. And people are effectively doing all that throughout the day. So we have seen also a significant evolution in the amount of time that people consume the internet, which has gone from a couple of hours a day to now 12 to 14 hours. And you will see almost all these 5 use cases happening at different parts of the day for different people. So while you work, the kids are playing online, and you need to make sure that all the consumers are getting that experience in order to prevent your kids to scream on you because Wi-Fi is down or they have just gotten killed when they play online because there is too much latency. So latency management is one of the other angles where you need to cater for. So how do we build value-added services that will make sure that these 5 use cases are catered for and you will be able to deliver a perfect quality of experience services for your end consumer? We've tested a similar type of proposition towards consumer, and we have seen that about a third of consumers today are basically willing to buy such a proposition right away. And when testing the appetite to pay on top of your plain broadband, we've gotten this number, 10 euros a month, which basically leads to an increased ARPU of 120 euros a year for operators, which is effectively massive. So that shows you the appetite and the size of the opportunity for operators around the world. So, you know, Airties really want to work with operators to help them to meet these customer needs. So to recap, a couple of angles to keep in mind. First of all, convergence is the future. It's important for the industry, both on the fixed side and on the mobile side, to work on delivering this joint quality of experience to make sure that the connectivity layer is sorted. However, that's not enough. Second of all, we really need to work towards elevating quality of experience and deliver harmonious solution. As an example here is one of our product offering that allows parents to set certain type of rules protecting their kids to access, you know, content that you don't want them to access. And the beauty of that particular product is that it's a residential product that can be taken away from home and will work on any third-party Wi-Fi or on any cellular network. So you have the peace of mind as a parent that your kids are not going to end up on websites undesirable for you and will effectively be protected with their digital habit. And all these type of products and services have huge benefit from a customer satisfaction. You can see a massive shift in customer satisfaction via NPS, but also massive reduction in the cost associated with running that kind of services for operators, leading overall to a better, happy customers and happy operators. So to recap, promise of connectivity anywhere and anytime, both for end user, delivering great quality of experience, and on the operator side, leading to basically creating new revenue stream, reduction of cost, and overall building a solid foundation for the future, delivering perfect connectivity. Thank you.
Just got time for a few questions, if that's all right, Nicolas. Sure. Has anyone got any questions from the floor at all before we go to the virtual? Yeah.
Hi there. There was a statistic you showed about the 5 gigahertz not being utilized in the home. Could you sort of explain why or what was behind that?
The residential 5 gigahertz?
Yeah.
It's effectively the fact that there is a lot of spare capacity on network, and that was the measurement of what could be consumed on a permanent basis versus what is being consumed. And what you see is today on networks, a lot of the connectivity is distributed between 2.4 gigahertz, as you know, and 5 gigahertz, and the 5 is far from being filled. So we have just extracted data from our own cloud to effectively extrapolate how much of that spare capacity is left potentially to be used. That number will increase because we have, of course, seen a shift of data going from 2.4 to 5 over the years. Now 5 is getting filled up very quickly, but 5 offers so much more capacity than 2.4 that it's far from being filled. That's where it's coming from. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Any more from the floor? Okay, so we've got our first one here. So, how can the industry capitalize on the convergence of Wi-Fi and 5G within the home? Which is quite an open-ended question, but so.
I think there are well multiple angles to that question. So from an operator perspective, many operators that were traditionally fixed operators or mobile operators are either starting to join forces, or you've seen a lot of M&A activities in that space. So more and more the ISPs are being converged operators, and they want to utilize both network. But of course, infrastructure costs a lot of money to build, specifically if you need to build a brand new 5G network. You need a lot of pillars and antennas. And so effectively, now operators, they need to look at this converged operator in order to offer a consumer bundle that will leverage on both the fixed and mobile operator, but in an integrated fashion. And that's basically the move that you can see now. More and more operators are offering this converged offer, which also offer, from a consumer perspective, lots of benefit. So number one, no bill shock, because before you would get two bills, one for the fixed, one for the network. Now it's all integrated into a bundle offer, which typically is capped. So the consumer has the peace of mind to pay a set fee monthly, and that's what it is. You can integrate a lot of the services. So traditionally, fixed operator would offer value-added services that would work only on the fixed network. Now these services are more and more pervasive. So it gives a much more compelling user experience because now you can benefit from all these services in and out of the home and roam seamlessly within network without noticing it. That's going to be the case soon. And managing the services like this will eventually lead operators to also reduce their cost of operation, because the networks will be effectively managed as one integrated network going forward, which is cheaper cost to run to maximize the revenue and the benefit, while really delivering this compelling experience to consumer. And if you get to that stage by offering fixed proposition, mobile proposition, that in the case of a family of 5, as an example, everybody is using the same broadband, everybody is using that mobile operators. And if you can enable some of the services that I've mentioned, the work from home for the parents, the enhanced gaming for the kids, it makes the service very sticky. You will not leave if all your needs are being appropriately catered, and that's where you see you optimize the retention towards your customers.
And I guess it like a sort of a family bundle kind of thing.
Exactly.
Is probably more affordable as well as
Exactly.
lots of separate contracts. Yeah. Just in regards to the technology itself and Wi-Fi 6, can you just elaborate on some of the benefits and things like extended battery life and this kind of thing? And so what kind of things can we see that elevate Wi-Fi 6 above normal Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi 6, we are all fairly old enough in the room to have known 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and the same for Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6. That's just the natural evolution of two separate standards that effectively coexist and go kind of at the same speed. Wi-Fi 6 helps effectively to be able to offer a proposition to your customers. If your incoming broadband pipeline in the home is, say, 1 gig, Wi-Fi 6 will allow operators to distribute that 1 gig everywhere in the house, which was not the case with the previous technology, because there were some physical limitation to the protocol. And Wi-Fi 7 will basically go all the way to 10 gig, which is effectively going to be aligned with mobile. So I think that's one of the example. The speed will be much more one-to-one now. I think the biggest effort that is done with Wi-Fi 6 and 6E and the upcoming standard is effectively the transition to unlicensed spectrum technology, which is what essentially Wi-Fi is, but to a technology that allow, a bit similar to what the cellular technology does, to deliver quality of experience, to prioritize certain type of traffic over other, to make sure that again, from an end user perspective, operators can truly control that experience and deliver this seamless experience that will just work, which is basically what we all want.
And just in regards to your Airties, in terms of the products you offer and that kind of thing, I mean, can you just talk a little bit about the smart Wi-Fi sort of portfolio, the management suite, and these kind of things, just so people get a better idea of what you offer?
Sure. So today the core product is related to that smart Wi-Fi, which is a technology that effectively will enable all your connected clients, so I'm talking about these guys, tablets, whatever is connected to the internet, to have best possible connectivity. Because again, we are in a situation now where we've seen a device explosion. So the number of connected clients, a couple of years ago was below 10, and now it's in the 30, and will continue exponentially because everything is connected, including your oven, your fridge, and all your smart home equipment. And that requires a lot of management because devices cannot do that by themselves. So you would be in a situation where a couple of devices would be well connected, everything else will have a degraded experience. So our solution allows to ensure that all the devices will have the right type of throughput and broadband at the right moment, and to orchestrate if a device, powerful device, is doing browsing, the little device that does video will get priority over the browsing because you need more pipe for video than for browsing. So as an example, leveraging on this, and it relates to the personalized services that I was mentioning, what we want going forward is to work with operators to offer a solution that, for instance, will optimize certain type of application. So optimize, for instance, everything that you need to work from home. Make sure that your team session, again, will get a prioritized pipeline to make sure that that particular application is going to be protected from the rest, and then to manage application. So that's one example, right? Optimize work from home. Similar principle happening in the gaming. And then smart home solution to make sure that we have a converged way to manage the different type of smart home devices that you have in the home, which is, one is from Nest, the other one is from Amazon. These devices don't necessarily talk to each other. How do you make sure that you converge them to deliver a unique, harmonized experience to your consumer, which again will make your offer more sticky because you help the consumer to solve all these problems of broadband.
Lovely, well put. A nice sticky harmony in the home.
Exactly.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, Nicolas. That's all we've got time for.
Super.
Wrap up now, but thank you very much.
Thank you very much.